We're here today at Stotfold Mill for the second annual Working Steam Weekend. There are lots of steam engines here, there are threshers, there are ploughers, and we're in for an interesting weekend, all in aid of the Stotfold Mill Preservation Trust.
Today's all about the local community, and I'm chairman of the trust of the Stotfold Mill Preservation Group, and I have a passion for the mill. I was born in Stotfold many years ago. And I remember the mill working, and I've lived here all my life actually. Unfortunately, as we all probably know, in '92 it burnt down, and we had a tremendous task in trying to rebuild our heritage and this prestigious mill that goes back to the Doomsday Book. And it's got the widest water wheel in a mill in this country, which makes it very unique. We had difficulty in the early days in trying to get funding to support the restoration of this, but we kept going at it, and in the end we had some grants from the local councils and lottery and various areas which managed to get us going, and we restored it to a working mill as you see it here today.
Can you explain what this machine is doing?
Okay, what we're doing here is we're steam threshing. So in fact what happens is there is a trailer loaded with straw and ears of corn. This machine over here is being driven by a steam engine. We are putting, from the top end, we're putting the straw, complete with the ears of corn, in the top. It goes through the machine and it separates the ears, the grain from the straw. And at this end, the straw will come out up this conveyor belt into a pile, as you see, which we'll bale it up to use for fodder. At the other end of the machine there is sacks which is filled with grain of various types, sizes, etc.
Why do you think it's important to preserve these things?
I think it's very important because the younger generations, from educational points, if we don't preserve our heritage, because it don't matter whether John Saunders owns a steam engine or anybody, if we don't keep the heritage, we're only custodians of what we hear while we're on this world, you know, and I think it's very important these steam engines will go on long after we are here.
Eddie, those helmets look quite heavy. Can you tell me a bit about them?
Yeah, they are quite heavy actually. The original design comes from the 1870s, 1880s, and they wore up till 1945. They're made of solid brass, got a leather insert in the bottom. This particular helmet is a reproduction made by the original moulds and come from Australia. It cost today about £300. For an old antique helmet, you're talking of £500 to £600 at least.
Right. And what would it have been like to fight a fire with one of those on? Can you imagine it?
No, not really. A bit dangerous, I would have thought. Not a lot of protection, and very hot. Yeah, it keeps heating, so yeah, not very good at all, really.
But you're glad you're after the war rather than before?
Yeah, very glad, in fact, yeah.
And you must be pleased with the traction today.
Yes, we've got a good demonstration as well of the vintage tractors, and some of the old tractors run on petrol and paraffin, believe it or not, which because you know in the wartime as well the fuels were in short supply, so some we even used on paraffin as well, the old tractors, vintage tractors we have here, along with the stationary engines and bits and pieces, but we try to create an atmosphere of where it used to be done and how the engines would have worked, and the steam thrashing and the balers, as near as we possibly can today.
What a fascinating day it's been today. The Victorians had some great ideas on how to use steam and machinery to get some super results. This is Judy Oliver from Local News TV in Stotfold.